one here is injured, Gaston. We might have to dish out the dosh. But no one heals as good as Gaston, except the team in torn. Nobody fights like Medic. Nobody heals like Medic. Nobody offers survive contract beats like Medic. And if you are like us, applications are on.
That was Gerald, leader of Medic. That's Medic with 2 exclamation points. Her ID is 2167612. There's a new and growing YouTube channel. Some of you may have heard about it. It's called The Dollhouse and hosted by Ken Doll. Ken's whole deal is that he wants to help as many newbies as possible. So in addition to posting video guides on YouTube, he also gives away donator packs, Xanax, and other prizes in his Discord server. We just want to say thanks, Ken, for your contribution to the Torn community and for being a supporter of Torn Underground as well.
All right, and welcome to a very special episode of Torn Underground. We've kind of tailored this one a little bit different. This one's just going to be kind of a solo episode all about elimination, since we have elimination coming up in the next week here. I figured it'd be a good time to kind of do a little overview and some strategies and tips and tricks. So, of course, I'm TheFelan. I have Ara with me here as always, and for the first time in Torn Underground, we have a returning guest. We have MeanMike to offer his expertise on this upcoming elimination competition. So how you guys doing today?
Doing well.
You know, I'm going to say, you actually, if someone was listening real hard, they would know who was going to be on the episode because they could hear the beeps.
Yeah.
It's his signature.
It is. That's funny. All right, cool. Well, so let's start out. We obviously have some players listening that are fairly new and probably weren't even around for last elimination, or if they were, they might not have played because elimination kind of has a reputation for being kind of a bloodbath. So why don't we just get into like what is elimination? So Mike, did you want to take that away?
Sure. So basically, elimination is where a good part of the game forgets about everything else in their life except for joining a team and killing a bunch of other people. I guess some people try to play together. Some people just join up because they heard it was fun. There's a million different reasons that players, new and old, flock to elimination. But in my opinion, it's probably the best event in the game. And a lot of really cool stuff happens during it. So this episode, we just want to kind of talk about, what the contest itself is, the competition, how it progresses, and then maybe get into some strategies for, taking your team to the promised land.
That's what you want. As I said in the first episode of this, you got to get that W no matter what.
Always comes back to it.
Oh, yeah. Full circle.
Yeah, I have all the merits, and I don't care. I just keep playing because I just love it so much. I play this game to kill people, and now we can do it and not get in trouble. So,
I mean, that's actually a good point. I was going to ask you, why do you feel that elimination is like the best event that Torn has?
Mostly for me, honestly, because it's to work with people that I wouldn't normally get to work with. That's my favorite part of it, and and by that, I mean, of course, it's cool to like team up with longtime established players, that you always just wanted to kick it with or whatever. But also, like, a really good part of it is the noobs, the people, like I have so many people on my friends list and people that I talk to. I was their elimination leader when they were at level 20 or level 25, and I like chatted with them, in a chat box throughout the whole thing. And in team chat, we were always talking and laughing and joking. And the next thing you know, you just killed a bunch of people, and made some new friends. What's not to love?
It's a bond for life.
It is, dude. I mean, I'm down as fuck with people that, I mean, can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
That I just met in Elimination. They're like, hey, dude, you were really cool. Want to be friends? I'm like, sure, man. Let's be friends.
Yeah, it is really cool. Just like meeting people you never would, because basically when Elimination comes around, factions are no longer a thing in a sense. You're going to be fighting people that are in your own faction. You're going to be smashing their face in. Then at the end of it, you're going to be basically teammates again. But during Elim, people in your faction, they are now your enemy.
It sounds like a joke, but it's really real, because there's been, I mean, especially like in CR, because there's so many good players that, love the competition. We don't always end up on, I mean, people say, oh, that team's rigged, they all join together. No, we really don't. The only person that I've ever, consciously made an effort to join the same team as Stretch. We get together beforehand and we're like, want to play together, want to play separate. And I mean, he's the only one I really ever talked to, one guy, so that's the rigging of the teams. But as we go through it, people do hit you up and are like, what team are you going to? And then, that's how you get a lot of good players on the team, and people start crying about stacked teams and this and that. But I don't think that's all bullshit, because to me, my team, no matter who the hell's on my team, my friends, my enemies, people I never even met, my tactics and strategies and structure for getting us, to the top is the same. It's always the same. It's just a template, that you follow. And if you can bring the most out of your team, you know what I'm saying? Like motivate people to really kick ass and be on for the pushes, and, everybody working hard, then you got a good chance of winning, no matter how stacked, unquote, your team is. It's just follow the template, get your people to do the work, and you can win. If you do the other 9 or 10 things that you're supposed to, take care of as well. But yeah, man, I mean, Stretch, you know why Stretch is so good at being an elimination leader, and I've had the success that I've had, is because we understand that the number one part of the whole thing is alliance management. Getting the right people in your alliance and making the time to, tend to that alliance and always be around and always be involved, and, avoid that big stab in the back that's coming. But he and I really both understand how important that is. And if you see, like, even last year, a team had the game, in the bag and a chance to take, Illuminati down. And they ended up losing that chance and losing the competition because one of their leaders was overly abrasive and aggressive and borderline abusive, quote unquote. I mean, it's all relative, but that's how the team that turned the tide saw it, is like, well, Illuminati was never an asshole to us, but this guy was, so let's help them instead of him. Because that's what it comes down to at some point. You're like, well, I don't have a fucking snowball chance in hell of winning, so why don't I just help these guys win? Yeah, that's what I'll do. And who you choose to help win kind of like falls back on who was cool to you and who wasn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have to be cool to people. I mean, it's just like the real game. If you're cool to people and you do right by folks, I mean, you'll get better results than if you rub people the wrong way. Shit always comes back around to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was a big thing. So I was in Illuminati as well, and right off the bat, we had a solid alliance with a couple different teams, and the one thing I remember that stands out is we stood by that alliance the entire time, all the way up until the end, when obviously you had to fight against your alliance, but we never turned. But I think we got turned on by one of the people in our alliance, and then everybody just flipped on them and got them out. Because I know Illuminati was ahead for most of the war and most of the elimination. Then all of a sudden, we got flipped on for a little bit, which obviously we flipped. Yeah, and we flipped it back. But I think you're right. We stayed loyal to our alliance, and we really had a solid team that really kept going throughout the entire event.
It's so important to stay loyal too, because you eventually build a reputation. Okay, so let's say take me or Stretch or someone like that. Our reputation is, we normally do good in the competition, but we can be trusted. if we tell somebody that we're with them, we're with them. The year that we were on Lumberjacks and we won, we only had to tell one lie. We told one lie the whole competition. We had one team we told one team we would take them to number 2, and then we told another team we would take them to number 2, and then at the end we let them fight it out and stayed out of it to see who would be number 2. We just let them settle it themselves, and that was as close to a totally clean comp that I've ever seen. You have to lie. You have to lie, and you have to screw somebody over, and you just hope that you don't sully your reputation so bad that way that people can still trust you and play with you. And I think that's what we've done over the last few years. We've managed to, we're good at it, and you probably do want to get us out because our team is good and solid. But if we tell you that we're going to get your back and that we'll take you, we'll take you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have friends. Nobody can do it by themselves. I mean, especially if you're a big name in the comp who's got all the merits and got some wins under your belt, people target you. They look, of course, after they get Evil Duck and Dude out, you're next.
That's so funny you say that because, pretty much any team that has Evil Duck and the Dude, every other team gangs up against. And so if Dude or Evil
tradition.
Duck is on your team, it's tradition. You take them out first. So I remember when I joined the last year's team, and I see Evil Duck in the chat, I'm like, oh, we lost. We're going to be targeted. And then next, what do you know? We were either first or second out.
It's the same thing every year. It's so bad.
It's hilarious. I need to keep going. And actually, that's where I learned to like Evil Duck, though. I became friends with him, I would say, during that. At first, I was really annoyed, but I don't know. I ended up seeing the light that is Evil Duck's humor.
That's awesome.
I started talking in all caps, and it was annoying other people too. And I just didn't care. I was trolling.
That's hilarious.
But
what were you brings it on himself.
Yeah,
he brings it on himself.
Yeah.
So he likes it.
He does. So for people that don't know Elimination, have never joined it, or are completely new to Torn, and this will be the first elimination they even can possibly join. How does it work exactly with the teams and tickets?
Well, you sign up, and they change it every year. So God only, I might say something wrong here. I don't even know because I don't read up on it until like 3 days before it happens. Mm-hmm. You join a team, and then you get placed. Where you get placed. People vote in a leader right away. That leader appoints his council. And this is like a really crucial part of the whole endeavor because there's so many jobs to do. You need push leaders. You need somebody in charge of handing out the mats. You need somebody in charge of this, somebody in charge of that. Picking a good council is really, the key to the whole thing. You got to have good people behind your back. I mean, the leadership and some of the teams that I've been on has just been sick. I mean, Nova, to his credit, is one of the best Elim players out there. So, anytime that I'm on a team with Nova, he's somebody that, like him or not like him, whether we're loving or hating each other this week, he's somebody that I'd be like, hey, man, you want to help me do this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just so important to get the right counsel. Then you give them all jobs, and then you start working on your alliance. You start, seeing who's the leads of other teams. If it's people that you have a good relationships with, people you can trust. People that have game motives to be, like working with you, like maybe, somebody from ME might be leading one team and somebody from M might be a lead on another team. But naturally, those two would gravitate to each other. If I'm on one team and Stretch is on another team, normally we would, seek each other out and try to, because we trust each other. And that's the whole thing. You just got to work on your alliance, get your alliance set up, and then start figuring out who you guys are going to target. And then when the initial, feeling out process is done and it's time to get down to it, you just make sure your alliance stays tight, stays on the same game, and start picking folks off. Your team chat will tell you who to hit and when to hit them.
Whichever team Evil Duck is on.
Correct. After you kill Evil Duck, this is what we're going to do. But I mean, just don't be afraid to send messages to your leads. If you see, older experienced players talking in team chat, giving out directions, send them a private message if you don't understand something, because everybody is there to help the team. So nobody is ever going to be a dick to you for asking questions because you don't understand. They're going to be like, hey, buddy, check it out. This is what you do. You want to do this and this and this. And they'll make it, understandable for you. So,
right.
That's my big thing to a new player. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right, and so basically what that also means is, as a new player, don't be afraid to join elimination if you're going to participate. Just because you have low stats, you can still help. Because what people talk a lot of shit about for elimination is the people that join and then don't do anything. So we don't care if you don't know what to do, as long as you ask us and you try to help in ways that we point out that you can help out. No one's gonna, yeah, everyone's gonna like you then. People are only going to not like you if you join and then just complain about how you're getting hospitalized all the time.
Dude, it's such a great networking tool. I mean, like for someone like me, I like see a cold-blooded killer in elimination. I try to get them to join CR. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like for a newer player, I mean, I am, like I said, I'm still like very friendly with several newer players that I just know from elimination. You can make friends from elimination that can actually benefit you in the game. You know what I mean? Like it's a great networking tool. It's a great place to meet people, to branch out and, as a newer player, make some friends that can help you out with your game a little bit. I mean, I can't say enough about the networking aspect of it. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. This is how a new player can get, literally working side by side with, MeanMike, Stretch, like the big names in leadership or just like big players in general. So that's huge. And I want to bring up a really quick funny line that I was going through the forum that somebody created, asking in general discussion about like when elimination was coming out. And this guy named Sea Lion from JFK commented and said, "Pro tip, wait for Stretch to pick a team and choose that one." So yeah. I think that it's funny because we just talked about it, but you get a reputation for winning, and people want that result as well. So that's funny.
Merits.
Yeah, seriously. And I think there's like 10 merits that are available within elimination for different categories and stuff. But
10?
So
damn.
Is that what it is? Oh, never mind. That's tokens.
Yeah, it seems like that's a bit
That's
much.
Tokens.
I think there's top hitter, winner, and top 3.
Yep. So finish the competition on your team in first place. Finish the competition with your team in first place. Then finish in the top 3. Make 50 attacks, and then finish the competition within the top 5% of attacks on your team. Those are the.
It's your show, so I don't want to be a dick and correct you.
Yeah. Oh, please correct away. I probably have a lot of.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to put wrong information on, so it's always welcome.
Yeah. But
I've long had the merits. I just love the comp. That's why I keep playing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, once you have all the merits, I mean, if it's like me personally, like my favorite event is Halloween. That's the one I like the most. So, even not that I'll ever unlock everything, but that's something you can keep playing, year after year. And same thing with eliminations. Like if you're not just in it for the merits, it's just a good time every year. To network and meet new people and, just get blood on your hands and attack some people. So
kill the shit out of people and get away with it.
Yeah. So real brief overview for people listening that don't, who haven't done it before, but basically there's 12 teams that are in this. To even be able to join, you have to be at least 14 days old. And once the entry period starts, you have to make 5 attacks. The 5 attacks can be on anybody. You just literally have to make 5 attacks. That'll unlock the ability to join a team. At that point, you'll get an option to join one of 4 randomly selected teams, or you can just hit random, and that'll get you put in just a random team. There's also a 5th option called potluck. Basically, that'll assign you to any of the teams, even if it's full. It's just a random kind of assortment. Once you're in a team, you get access to their private forum, and you get a chat. But pretty much all of the elimination teams will have a Discord. That's kind of where you're going to want to live at for all the pushes and strategies and general talks. And then each team starts with 1,000 tickets and 100 lives. This is what's going to determine who wins and who loses. So basically, every 15 minutes, life is lost, and the team that loses a life is the team with the lowest amount of tickets at the end of that 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, the team with the lowest tickets loses 1 life. You hit 0 lives, your team is eliminated. Whatever team is left standing at the end of the elimination period is the winner. So once you're on a team, you cannot leave the team either. So, and just like Ara had said, if you join, you're gonna want to take it seriously, because you do not want to be the person who joins a team and does absolutely nothing and just gets farmed. Just like
we'll rip you
scoring,
apart. Sorry, I lost it there. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
dude, my enemy list is full of those people.
Yeah, it's just as bad as ranked warring. Like, you're just sitting there getting farmed, and this is something that if you're in a faction and they enlist and you didn't want to, like, okay, like, it sucks. But this is something you're willingly joining, and then you just do nothing and cause your team, to lose tickets and stuff. You do not want to be on that side of the game.
Hell no.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the game. The strategy that goes into it is kind of crazy. But so for newer players that have never done this will be their first time. Like, what's besides just being active, what can they do to try and be a good teammate, on the elimination team?
Honestly, I in every year that I've played, I have seen level nothings be the ones being very active in team chat. Counting, doing the counts, because you count down to where everybody hits, volunteering to do that, because it's a pretty intricate thing, but once you get the basic concept down of the entire push and doing the countdowns, it's easy. Step up and do that. You can volunteer to help with tasks like handing out cans or Xanax or stuff like that. Basically just be a presence, and you can really do a lot to raise your standing, not only on the team during the competition, but like I said, in the game afterward. There's a lot of people who have made their name in this game from elimination, and that's a real thing. Because there are real big time players on your team or in leadership, watching what you're doing and taking notice. And so when they encounter you after the comp, they remember that shit. So just step up. There's always something to do, and there's always someone that's willing to assign you something. Just be all you can be. That's my advice for a new player. Make your mark.
You could kind of think about it as the people that go to, like, say, college sports games and what's that called? It's scouting, and they scout them for talent for or they do that for college teams too. But then like the professional leagues scout at college games and stuff like that. It's like that. If you're looking to get into a good faction, and you're not totally sure if, like, your stats are there and you're not feeling that confident, but if you go in to elimination and you work hard, then you'll probably you wouldn't be surprised if you got an offer from a big faction saying, like, hey, we'd love to have you join. And then boom, that now you're in, like, a big faction with lots of respect. And that's a really easy way to start growing your account when you're surrounded by like-minded people.
I'm a big time elim poacher, dude. I'm not ashamed to say it. If somebody really is, setting the world on fire in elimination, you want to play with them. You're like, God, this guy's a killer. There's people in CR like Jas, JAS. I never even really heard of the dude before, and he just lit it up on Lumberjacks, and I was like, God, dude, you really need to come and play here. And he's been with us ever since. He's one of our best members, one of our most popular members. People love him, and he got into CR because he was noticed in elimination for just being a killer. That's where you make your mark and where you can really improve your game.
In the second round of sponsors now. This message is brought to you by octogenarian dirty bombers. Trout, 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 trout. Hey, are you interested in joining a faction? If so, Monies is a Silver 3 faction and is recruiting for ranked war. We pay 1 million per attack made for when you first start, plus a bonus of 10 million to third hitter, 50 million to second, and 100 million to the first on a win. We have a promotion system, meaning if you perform well in a war and make a good amount of attacks and also coordinate with us, we give you a raise of anywhere from 50,000 to 200,000 per war. We need active hitters and Discord users. Message LT7046. Their ID is 210859 Join Monies. That is MONEYZ today.
You are listening to The Torn Underground with your hosts, Ara and TheFelan.
And I mean, that since we put out the last episode, or one of the last episodes about ranked warring, I had a lot of people message me and ask me, like, hey, I'm like a new player, like, what can I do to help? And this is exactly it. Like, you don't have to be a big player to, one, help in the elimination competition, but two, you don't have to be a big player to get noticed. Like, if you're like, I mean, we talked about it honestly with you, Mike, during your spotlight about having chain watchers and having people step up during that time. Like, that's something that you don't need stats to do. You just need to be there, be present, and this event is going to give them an opportunity to get in front of, leaders of that. So, for all the people who messaged me asking, I'm a young player, I'm a new player, what can I even do to help? This is it. Just be active.
It's just like anything else. I mean, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. It's kind of like that. I mean, elimination is like I said, it's a place for people to really shine. And like you were saying, I mean, for the people that join and then just like dip out, man, I mean, like I said, I'm really petty about that kind of stuff because I take the comp really seriously. Mm-hmm. So my enemy list is full of people that piss me off in elimination. And the note, because you get to put like the cool little note, like why you hate this guy. Yep. It just says Elim. That's enough for me, and I never take them off. I leave them on forever.
That's fine.
5 years later, like, man, why are you beating me up still? It's like, man, elimination, dude.
Yep.
I remember.
What I do? I don't remember, but it was something.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, so it's still part of the game, and that's what people need to remember too, is that what you do in elimination, and like we said, in the good can help you. But also what you do in elimination in the bad, I mean, there's people, that used to like me that don't because, I beat them in elimination. There's people that I used to like and don't because they screwed me over in elimination. I mean, no matter who it is, people are petty and they remember, when they get dissed. And if it's elimination, it doesn't really make it any better. It makes it worse, actually. Yeah. Because if you can't trust people, you can't trust people. But I don't know. I've had people that I thought were cool for years and then cross horns with them in elimination. And it's like friendship over. I get it. Cause you know what? I'm like, yeah, I hate you too. God damn it.
That's a good point though.
I don't really hate anybody in this game, but elimination people piss me off sometimes.
That's a good point about the enemies list though. What's it called? You got to make sure you put that note there because it's easy to forget why you put someone on your enemies list. It's really easy to forget.
Mm-hmm. People ask me sometimes, and I'm like, you tell me. And then if neither one of us remember, sometimes I'll take them off.
Yeah.
Because I really don't remember unless I really, despise somebody. But, like 3/4 of my enemy list, I have no idea why they're there. And sometimes I'll be hitting them for like a year until I realize I got fed. I'm like, oh, shit. Now I can take them off.
Well, they got theirs on, huh?
Yeah. Karma.
I think what you're saying too is like if the people who will remain on your enemies list because of this, like this is an event that you literally have to join. Like you have to click join. You're not forced to do anything. You have to make attacks to unlock the ability to join and then join. So you made the conscious decision to join, and now you're also making a conscious decision to do absolutely nothing and try and, ride coattails to get to the win or something.
What I hate is the people who join, have no idea what they're doing, and then like don't give a shit enough to like find out. So, you'll be like, okay, man, our allies are this, this, and this, so don't hit them. And then you just hit this, this, and this. These are our enemies, right? And then, level whatever noob is hitting your allies, and then of course they hit you up with a QQ message. Hey, man, this guy's hitting me. Are you guys turning on us? Right? So then you got to hit up the noob, and you're like, hey, bro, we told you, don't hit them, hit them. Okay, bro? Hey, screw you, dude. I'll do whatever I want. Who do you think you are telling me what to do?
I thought this was America.
Yeah, I thought this was America.
When I woke up, this was a free country.
Yeah, and then they tell you basically to go screw yourself, and it's like, dude, you realize that this is like a game and stuff, and they don't know you, they don't know what's going on. All they know is they'll hit whoever they damn well want, and if you don't like it, here's a $10,000 bounty on you.
Yeah.
It's like the salt in the moon. First, you totally just got told by some total noob, and then because you stepped to him, he went ahead and bountied you up for a nifty $100,000 or $10,000 or whatever the hell he's got in his pocket.
Yeah, that will never get claimed.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to kill you anyway, so it will get claimed, but not for that reason.
Oh, right.
But that's the critical part about it. Is that like the dude's like, I don't know who you're talking to or what you're talking about, bro. I do what I want. And I'm like, no, dude, you have to do what we're saying. And nope. Those people have been on my enemies list forever.
That is funny though, because I've had people bounty me for 50K a bounty and 10 bounties, but it's like I'm over 20 bill stats. No one's attacking me for 50K.
Right. Right, but because of course, the random noob who just told you off, he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand anything, and it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so funny. You just shake your head. You're like, why is this happening to me? I'm getting told by this guy.
He doesn't give a shit who you are.
Yeah, he really, really doesn't. And then you're like, okay, well, if I attack him, it's going to hurt my team, so I can't do that. Shit, what am I going to do here? I know. I'll put him on my enemies list forever.
Yeah.
For after elimination.
But anyway, yeah, there's lots of funny stories like that about, noobs and stuff that they do during the comp. It's like I said, just remember that you can step up and make your game a lot better, or you can really do something to shoot your game in the foot. You just got to understand that a lot of people take the competition seriously, and you did join up voluntarily. So just try to find out what's going on and be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have fun too. Think about that.
You guys remember Pig?
No.
The player Pig? He was like he was Meow before that. He was Evil Duck's son.
What?
Evil Duck's son. He was like the ultimate, and he was also Joe I. He was like 3 or 4 different incantations of Evil Duck's illegitimate animal, half something son. That's
why I can't remember, because he kept changing the name.
This is a weird kid, but he joined our freaking team, our elimination team, and all we could think was that he was just going to disrupt and spam and just make everything terrible. And I ended up hitting him up, and I'm like, look, bro, everybody's really concerned. Just do me a favor. I don't care if you don't do any hits at all. Just don't talk in team chat. We got a deal? And he said, yeah. And he didn't do a single freaking hit, but he didn't speak up in team chat either. So I was happy.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
Well, because we were terrified. We saw him like, oh, Jesus, there goes our whole team, because this guy's just going to, spam the wrong targets and tell people to hit the wrong people and, not help us at all. And then he ended up being totally chill. I was going to offer him money, but I didn't do that far. I'm like, look, bro, I'll give you, $500 million if you fuck off.
That'd be funny if he listens to this. It's like, shit, bro, you could have gotten paid for what you did.
Seriously.
I'm sure whatever multi he's on now probably is listening with his 900 personalities. But yeah, that was the thing. We got Pig on our team one year, and it was like, oh my God, we're screwed, because we just didn't know what he was going to do.
Well, it's kind of funny though, because the whole people, it's like kind of tradition to take out whatever team Evil Duck is on first. I do remember that he was like the top, like we ended up going out like the first or second to go out, but he was like one of the top hitters for our team. So he did put in the work.
Yeah, and dude too, because like dude is also constantly targeted during these things. And I'm like, he actually puts forth the effort and does the freaking hits. I mean, if he wasn't dude, he'd probably be a hell of an asset to some team.
Yeah, it attracts that attention.
But I mean, it's just like anything else. Once you dig yourself in that hole, I mean, like even me, let's say that my team is, looking pretty stacked, and I go and look for another team, of equal strength that I can team up with. But, unfortunately, that team is led by Realist Assassin, who, as you know, doesn't have me on his Christmas card list. I can't work with him because I've already made my bed in the game, and now he's eliminated as an option because of how we are together, in the game. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
There's all kinds of double-edged swords that you gotta avoid getting cut by.
Torn politics are an interesting thing for sure.
Dude, it's so silly too, because what's so funny about that is that Realist Assassin and I were vying for top hitter on Lumberjacks back when, Lumberjacks won that one year. And we became, down. Like there was a good friendly competition. We were constantly chatting. I mean, I really earned a ton of respect for the guy by just watching him be such a cold-blooded killer. And that's actually where I started talking to him and stuff. And then of course, faction politics, here they come. But back then, I mean, me and that dude, we were down because we were both monsters, just killing anything that came close to us.
Right.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. But I mean, like I said, even then, never even knew the guy, really. I mean, I talked to him a couple times or whatever, but just from us being on the same team and both of us being in the top 5 of, hits back and forth. He ended up smoking my ass that year, I think, at the end. But I mean, that's, you build that kind of relationship, that kind of friendship, that kind of respect for someone by watching what they do in a competition like that. And even if he didn't have 9 trillion million quadrillion stats right now, I would still always have a respect for the way that Realist attacks the game, in every aspect, but because of how he was my freaking team that year,
Right.
It's a beautiful thing when you see somebody, stepping the fuck up like that. I don't know.
So step
I'm
up.
a big fan. Yeah, man.
So
but I mean, he
up
steps up,
here.
no matter what he does. He steps up no matter what he does. But I mean, that was I just love the top stuff. Anyway, anybody that does good in it. I mean, if you're a good negotiator, if you're a good organizer, if you're a monster hitter, if you're somebody who's always being, active and loud in team chat. I mean, I love you. I love the comp so much, and that kind of stuff just makes me really happy.
Yeah, I really do think that this episode will help some players that either don't join Elimination or do join Elimination and don't do anything. I think this podcast is doing its part to try to fix this problem, because it's a big thing in the forums every single year and teams and stuff like that. Yep. It's a big topic.
The 3 of us have been around for a minute and actually been in the comp and know what's going on. And you can still hear it when we're talking about it. It's like, God, those people that join and don't do anything piss me off. How do you think the normal player feels?
Right.
Like people that haven't really been around the block like we have, it probably drives them crazy. So now we're putting it out there and just kind of making it known. Hey, man, look, you're going to join up. If you don't do anything, people are going to kill you the rest of your life. So don't be that guy.
You're going to end up on the enemy lists for sure.
Yeah. And then you're going to ask me why. I'm going to say, I don't remember, but there you are.
Yep.
Well, it says elimination, so I'm sure there's a good reason.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I mean, if you win it, you get the nifty honor bar, you get the merits, and more importantly, you get the bragging rights. So I think that's why most people are, really in it, because I'm only really good at a few things in this game, but I'm very proud of my accomplishments in Elimination. I think that being a good lead and a good strategist in that competition, there's only a few of us. There's not many people who can say, hey, look, if you join my Elimination team, you got a good chance of winning. There's not many of those leads in the competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't think of many, besides Stretch that I would feel comfortable joining with,
Right.
So, take us through that then. What does it mean to be a good leader in Elimination? What are the things that a good leader should be doing? Yeah, like what does a good leader look like for elimination?
Well, like I said earlier, the very most important thing is who they surround themselves with. Because a good leader will know what people's strengths are and be able to pick the people for the jobs that need to be done. You can't make it a popularity contest. I have really turned some heads with some of my choices, for my counsel and leadership when I've been lead, because people are like, who the hell? It's like, no, I need someone that's going to be able to do this and someone that's going to be able to do that. It's so imperative that you pick the right people. The second thing is you have to be a diplomat. You have to be a diplomat. You have to make people trust you. You have to make people believe that you're going to keep their word or keep your word. And you have to be able to constantly be involved in every damn discussion that goes on in your alliance. Because the second that you're not involved in one of those alliance discussions, you're going to be the one on the outs. And as someone who has orchestrated many blindsides, it's been done because people were negligent. I mean, the year that we got the field mice out, we were working with them all the way through, and they all went to bed except for poor Triplicant. And me and Trip talked. We were on the same alliance, and we talked every night in our little alliance, channel there. And we were just kind of chilling. And he thought something was going to happen when the next team went out, and everybody else and their brother had another plan that included, not him. And we were just talking, and then all of a sudden, everybody just started attacking his team. And he was just like, oh, wow. Like he didn't even know what was happening, but he took it like a champ. And I'll never forget that, because he could have flipped out. He could have been like, oh, you dick, or anything. But he was just like, oh, wow. Like in the end, he was really cool about it. And that's one of the things I really liked about Trip. That's why me and him ended up being such good friends, because I totally stabbed him in the back and he totally took it like a boss. You know what I mean?
It's a game.
It was
That's funny.
And he took it as
I don't
such.
know. He was such a chill kid and such a laid back sort that even getting screwed like that wasn't enough to make him lose his cool.
Right.
Yep. So anyway, I mean, I just you gotta do a lot of good things to be a good lead, but the best thing you can do is surround yourself with good people. Because I mean, there's no such thing as a great. I mean, I'm a great elimination lead, but if I had a shitty council, I would be out early. It's that simple.
That feeling though of getting backstabbed and betrayed during a limb, because it's gonna happen. It's elimination. It's what happens in elimination. But anyway,
both sides of
going to bed with your team's way up there with 6,000 tickets. You're feeling good. You're excited, being on top, and then you wake up and you're all the way at the bottom with 0 tickets. It's brutal.
Because you had the nerve to go to work that day.
Yeah.
You had the unmitigated gall to leave your computer and go to work that day, and then when you come back, it's over. When we were in total bankers, and the year that we ended up having to fight the whole damn game and to fight elimination, we were in an alliance, and I was gone to work for like 5 hours, just 5 hours, man. And when I came home, our alliance was over. Everybody hated us. We were the next ones out.
Oh my God. They can flip
because
just
we
like
had one
that.
team member who I'm not going to throw him under the bus because I've already made peace with it, because we had the strongest team. We were going to win. But this guy he went ahead and made a side deal with this other team and let them into our Discord where they could see that we had a secret channel with our top 3.
Oh.
And when they saw that, they screenshotted it. They showed it to everybody else in our alliance. And just like that, we went from definitely having the win in the bag to having to fight the whole damn game off and going out in like 7th or 8th or something. But one dude just took it upon himself to let these people in our server, and then they saw we had a secret channel because they didn't block that. Oh, it was the worst thing ever, man. Total Bankers was so stacked, dude. We were going to go all the way.
Oh, that's rough.
Dude,
It was, dude. I was gone 5 hours, came back, and everything was done. It was just so brutal. And the dude felt bad. I mean, he knew he messed up, but what was done was done.
Right.
What was done was our competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how quickly it can go away. So when I tell you, tend to your alliance, don't take your eye off the ball and put people you can trust in charge when you're not going to be around. That's the big thing.
Right, and as like
One
just a
was-
regular person, make sure that you're not attacking what is supposed to be your ally.
Bro, I said flat out, do not do anything. I will be back in 5 hours. Don't do anything. Shit. Came
Don't
back to
touch anything.
Right. Right. Came back to everybody hating my guts and all the people that were going to bring us to the top, killing us. It was a drag, dude. I mean, and we had such good people, you know. I mean, we really did just have such good people.
Yeah, people. Because like I'll
got-
still see signatures on people's profiles from when they won one time in elimination, and
Yeah.
they're still rocking that team signature on their profile, like from 5 years
Bro.
ago.
Hell yeah, man. Look at mine.
Well, I can't.
I'm one of
I
those
guess
people.
I think I'm just jealous because I can't do that. I've never won. I'm projecting.
I still rock my Illuminati one.
Hell yeah, dude.
I wanted to
Why
be on
wouldn't
Illuminati, but I didn't get the option, and then I pressed random, and I still didn't get it, and I was sad. I ended up with Evil Duck instead.
Oh, and quickly we're dispatched in last place, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I pretty much always just do the random team because I like I want a cool sounding name. That's my I guess that's my personality because they got some funny ones and stuff like that. But I guess maybe I'm too serious. I always like the cool looking team, and Illuminati was that last year. That's what called out to me the most. But I usually end up on like the dumb sounding team names. I'm just like great, whatever.
There are some really dumb team names too.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to even. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Total Bankers was like a troll because we quickly became Total Wankers like the first day. I'm not even British, so I wasn't like quite as dissed as I should have been, but it still sucked. Nobody wants to be a wanker.
No.
I just leaned into it though.
Yeah, from the last year, the 12 teams were Chicken Nuggets, Serial Killers, Seamen, Let Us Win, Dongs, Victoria's Secret, Keyboard Warriors, Illuminati, Goat, Pandemic, Short Bus, and Snowflakes.
Oh, I was Pandemic. We got fucked.
Yeah.
But anyway, the last thing I really have to say to throw out there for people is have fun. Oh, I mean, take it seriously and try hard. But I mean, it's just like any other game or any other part of any other game. I mean, enjoy it, lean into it, man, and just make new friends and enjoy the experience. It's really a special thing if you do it right. And it comes once a year, so just really go for it. Leave it all in the field.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he's right. It was a great time, honestly, being in Illuminati. And it's not just because we won, which I'm sure adds to it, but just being in the Discord. Yeah. But being in the Discord, seeing the teamwork, the camaraderie, like it is a really cool part of the game. Obviously, attacking is a huge part of the game, and strategy and all that. So putting it all to use and basically in one event, it is something that can be, even from the outside watching, a team flip, from first to last, like it's something that can just be like admired, just being watched. So it is a really cool event. It is very fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, it is an absolute bloodbath. Like you will spend, if you're on a team that makes it to the end, you will spend a lot of time in the hospital. But it's a great time. It's a great competition to get into.
And don't you dare even think about leading an elimination team unless you can take time off your job. If you hold down a full-time job and you think you're going to be halfway effective as an elim leader, you will not. You just won't.
So put in your resignation letter today.
Yeah, or do what I do and call in sick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that this episode kind of gave a lot of you guys a little bit more of an understanding of elimination and some of the tactics behind it. Obviously, there's no way to go into tactics for everything that can be covered by elimination, but I think this kind of gives a pretty good understanding and some good tips and tricks, at least to get these newer players started, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't think of really anything that we can say. I mean, we pretty much put it all out there.
Yeah.
Because obviously we could do an episode next year on elimination, and maybe get a little bit more intricate about it because this is the first episode about it, and I feel like it was only right that we got to introduce the new players to it and tell them that, hey, you can comfortably join this and have fun. Just know what you're joining and know what you're getting yourself into and be down for it.
Yeah.
Try your best.
Absolutely.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, that's it. Or you're going on my freaking enemies list.
Yeah.
And mine.
Yeah.
Everybody's. I'll make a thread. I will essay on you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
Yeah.
Here is why I hate you in 500 words or more.
If you search your name and your name is on a post from MeanMike, good luck.
That's right. Make yourself a nice drink, sit down. You're going to be here for a while reading all the nice things I have to say about you. Dude, that essay shit is so funny. It's not my fault. I have things to say.
Yeah, that's definitely the go-to. The go-to if somebody like doesn't really know what to say to like try to like sling one at you, they just go right for the essay.
Yeah. And I'm looking at like the what they quoted. I'm like, oh, that was like 2 paragraphs. What do you mean? That was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen that in some years. I remember thinking like it wasn't even like that long of a post, but okay.
Yeah, it's my thing. Well, you build one bridge, you're a bridge builder. You write one essay, and you're that guy.
Yep.
Fine. Guess
Just
there's worse things to be.
If you join an elimination team and you don't compete, you are that guy. You will be labeled.
Yeah. I'd much rather be the essay guy than the didn't try an elimination guy.
There you go.
Amen.
As we say, lean into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Mike, for coming on for the second time. Nice to know that we didn't, scare you away.
That's fine. You guys are great.
The first time. So, really appreciate that. And we really appreciate you coming on and giving your time and your kind of expertise to this. Like I said, I'm hoping this helped out somebody, whether it's a player or maybe even a leader of one of these teams coming up here in this next elimination. But thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, man.
And eventually, I know we're going to have you back on for the most amazing thing that happened in Torn. It's going to be some time, but because I want to make sure that we do it right, and like I actually want to like really plan for it and everything. But with MeanMike, the mastermind behind it, one of the few masterminds behind it, Insurgency. So that was a huge. Probably the biggest thing that ever happened in Torn. I was a part of it, and it was incredible. So get used to MeanMike because we're going to have him on again for sure.
Yeah, I love to talk about Insurgency.
Yeah.
One of my favorite topics.
Just like the other night, we were just talking together on Torn about it for a while, and I learned a lot. It was awesome.
Yeah,
so I can't wait for it.
A lot went into it, that's for sure. But it was an epic battle and an epic coming together, and it's just a good part of Torn's history. You know what I mean? So I don't think that people will ever get sick of discussing it or hearing about it.
That's right.
Well, unless I'm sure that some people probably would prefer to not hear about it again. But hey, I'm not one of them, so what the hell?
Yeah, I know there's some people that definitely won't want to listen to that episode for sure. It will give them flashbacks.
Yeah, maybe they will to print out new paper for their MeanMike dartboard.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, we've got great things in the woodworks. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So stay tuned to Torn Underground.
Yeah, man, I look forward to coming back on.
Hell yeah,
absolutely.
All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate it.
Of course.
Appreciate
Thank you so much for coming on and teaching Torn about elimination.
Yeah, man, I hope it helped. And like I said, new people, just try real hard and enjoy it. It's fun.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah. Actually,
Heard it
did
here
clap
first.
my hands there.
Hey, we got it.
All right. Well,
Later.
take care.
That's it.
And that will conclude this episode of Torn Underground. Thank you for checking it out with us. Elimination. Be there or be square. But if you're going to be there, attack or do stuff.
Yeah.
Help out in some way. Not necessarily attack. I should have said that. But just help out in some way.
If you're gonna be there, be there.
Be there. We're not kidding. Like, we will mess with you. It's not a
Yeah.
joke. It's real.
I'm probably gonna be sitting this year out. So for you new players that join and do nothing, if you end up on Ara or Mike's team, I will stack and just hospitalize you just for the hell of it, because it won't affect me. So yeah.
And if you're not in the
just
competition, it won't lose us tickets. So there you go.
yep, exactly. So
And now, our final sponsors of the episode. Thank you. Adam has paid the August 30th upkeep of $2,121,749. And now his faction. Do faction perks help you? Of course they do. They're amazing. That's why you should check out Bloodbath and Beyond. No, this is not where you get your towels and bath mats. This is where you slaughter your enemies and enjoy a ton of perks. With over 10 million respect and racing their way to the top, they will only chill out once they're number one. An undefeated 7-win streak in rank wars shows they aren't just chain beasts, but war mongrels as well. Get in while you can, because this is Torn's fastest growing cult.